18th, 2017 at 5:30 PM. Item number 1, call to order. Roll call, please.
Chair Pike,
Here.
Trustee Head,
Present.
Trustee Zeiss.
Here.
Item number 2, approve the minutes from the July 18, 27 Public Works meeting. I need a motion.
I'd move to approve the minutes from the July 18th, 2017 Public Works meeting.
And I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor say aye. Aye. Item number 3, snow plowing contract for village streets, discussion and possible recommendation. You have any comments? Did you guys read through this already?
I read through some, yeah.
You want to say?
I'd like
This is
I'd
our
like to
fir-
I'd like
first-
to read my thing if I could.
Okay, go ahead.
Was that all right? So the public can
Sure.
hear and all that. At this point, the village of North Hudson has a contract with Zappa Brothers to assist in plowing and removal of snow on village streets. Late winter, early spring, the village purchased a new plow truck, which has allowed the Public Works to increase its efficiency when plowing snow on the village streets. Public Works also has 3 pickups with plows. We also purchased a snow blade for our skid loader. With this being said, I'm confident that the Public Works crew is more than capable of plowing the streets. I would urge the Public Works Committee to carefully consider all aspects of the plowing process and the time. It will take 3 people to remove snow from the streets versus 8 or 9, give or take 2 or 3, all operating equipment. In the event of larger than normal snowfall, good God, time may be an issue, and the village residents who are used to having things done in a certain amount of time. I'm trying to say that these events I'm not trying to say that these events can't be handled by us in-house as Public Works staff, but time may be an issue, so I would like the board to please consider carefully.
Okay, so first of all, I need a motion.
I move to approve the recommended new contract with Zappa Brothers for another year to aid in the snow plowing on an as-needed basis.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion.
So there's no minimum? It's just, we pay them
There is the $9,000 minimum.
the nine grand minimum.
And these hourly rates above, they go into effect after the 9 grand minimum? Is that how it works? So those rates are in effect during the use of the 9,000 minimum? Okay.
So, Patrick, if you were to do it, of course, we're paying you overtime to do that activity? Or is that part of?
Well, it depends on where it falls.
When and where, yep.
You know, if it happens on a Sunday, which our week would restart, that wouldn't be overtime.
Okay.
And then we could, I could adjust
The
and say, okay, then
staff.
we'll go home early on Friday or
Sure.
whatever, so.
Okay.
You know, it's been a while since I've read through that whole contract. There was a question about them actually using our trucks once before. Can we make sure that that is a no-go? I mean, that's my opinion. Because he obviously has all these vehicles he's mentioning here.
I didn't see that.
No, that's, I guess if this year we as Public Works employees, I was given direction that due to our insurance and whatnot, if you are not an employee of the village, you don't operate anything, so I guess that's pretty cut and dried.
I just think it ought to be a statement in here.
I can put
Either
that in there.
Under operators or maybe under insurance.
Yep, I will do that.
So, I must admit, I didn't see that piece of it, or I wouldn't have asked if there was a minimum. And then my second piece to that is, we just bought this brand-new fancy,
Mhm.
very expensive
Mhm.
plow truck. that we said would get it done twice as fast and
Mm-hmm.
this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
So why do we think we still need Zappa for plowing?
Well, not to admit defeat, which I never will, if we happen to have an abnormally large snowfall, and like I stated in my issue statement, that obviously the residents have had things done a certain way for 20, 30 years, I would not want to upset people. I'd like to give them the same service that they're used to having.
So if I'm a resident, why wouldn't I say we should have just kept the same damn thing we had and never bought the truck if we want the same service we've always had?
This is our first year, full year having the truck, so there are some unknowns, you know.
We were actually not able to even truly use it last year, so.
Well, I'm gonna kind of go off of that. I mean, is there a minimum of $9,000? Do you see your activities over the, I know it's based on the weather, where you're gonna cover a portion of that, Patrick, up to a point, and then you find it, we got Zappa contracted for $9,000, so we're gonna basically bring him in at a point when it's a heavy snowfall, we can't handle it. But then if we get to that point where we've reached that 9,000, I mean, do we continue with the hourly rate and you can see it exceeding beyond $99,000 or?
I guess I would say no.
I'm just looking at history. I mean, I don't
Yep.
know really.
History is, generally speaking, we have to pay the 9,000 out at the end of the year, and we haven't used it all.
That answers my question.
And that, I'm wondering if maybe we can go a little lower on that contracted price. Maybe this year we take it down to 7.
Well,
That
that's
would
kind.
that would still cover our or maybe 5.
That's where I was going with that. I mean, does it have to be 9? That's I don't know. I don't know the history behind this, Patrick.
I can certainly ask. I can do some more research and we can bring it back. That's,
See, we're also asking Mr. Zappa to be prepared.
Well, totally agree. I mean,
So we're asking him to be there.
I mean, a couple of years ago, I can definitely see you could never handle the snow we had, whatever, the amount, Patrick. I definitely agree with
It's
you
just
there.
that we never know what we're gonna get either.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and I'm sure Mr. Zappa needs some type of commitment here if he's going to.
actually, I was the one that pushed because
okay.
I thought, because our contract is up at the end of this month,
Okay.
which if you want me to go back and do some more talking and whatnot, I can do that. I don't think we're gonna get a big snow in September, so
Okay.
we're probably safe.
That would be my opinion. I would,
There's a recommendation, I think we gotta vote on that.
Yeah, I
first.
think we have to run that first, but and the discussion basically to understand, I want to know the history behind it, because I want to know how much, if you've had that 9,000 overpassed, if you've ever exceeded that, I mean,
can we get?
I believe they have, because from my understanding, most of the work in the past was just outsourced.
Yes,
okay,
we did some, but
but,
we depended much more heavily on him than we need to now.
Right.
Especially with that truck.
right.
So, I guess I would like us to see if we can negotiate it down, given that we have the truck. I mean, it just makes sense, right? That truck can do summers in 2 passes, can it?
Yeah, like I said, once
That
we
means
get everything dialed in,
one
then
It's
pass,
going to take time, I understand that, yeah.
one pass on a lot of streets. 4th, summers, can't remember any other big ones, but those, it should be 2 pass, assuming cars get out of the way.
Well, I think
Don't.
with that, I think with that wing plow, we won't have to worry about that. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Well, I think the motion's out there.
All right, so, I think,
Let's have a vote.
yeah, or can we table it for him to do further?
Well, we can probably
I don't know.
turn the vote down, just.
All right, let's
Yeah.
proceed with the vote. It's a spending issue, I guess. So Ted,
No.
No,
No.
no.
With the recommendation.
With the
that
recommendation, yeah, go ahead, Ted.
We go back and
Okay.
see what the historical spend has been.
Yeah, bring that from,
And see if we can't bring that down to, like
Okay.
maybe $100 or something.
150?
And,
Okay, I'll
you know,
go
with-
to two. I'll go to two.
Really,
give
with-
us the last 5 years running. So
Yeah.
you should be able to pull that out and say, how many times did we end up spending the 9,000 or just paying the 9,000 because we had hours left? You know what I'm saying?
I can tell you this year, we didn't spend it.
I know
yeah,
we
and
did.
it's a mild
We
winter.
probably haven't for the
And we
past
di-
couple
We
of
didn't
years.
the last year either, the year before that. Both
Oh,
times,
okay.
we haven't, and we had to pay out the 9.
I'm willing to bet it's been 3 to 4 years.
But let's get the history
Okay.
and find
All
out.
right, all right, all right.
Well, then I would also like to keep in mind that we do have a nice truck that we could
Yes.
potentially accomplish, you know.
So we don't pay
And
Time
then-
issue, I know with Patrick. but,
for
yeah.
5 years and you pay down the truck by 45 grand.
And then, under direction and control, item number 8 in this contract, I think that's where you'd want to say, only our employees use the
Okay.
truck,
Okay.
somewhere in there.
All right.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. Moving on to item number 4, street sweeping contract for village streets, discussion and possible recommendation. Okay, so Patrick? Want me to read it?
No, I can. Making sure I got the right one. In the past, years, the village has contracted with Mike McPhillips to do the street sweeping in the village streets. The contract we have has expired and needs to be reapproved. McPhillips has sent in a bid of $92 an hour for sweeping. Allied Blacktop has sent in a bid of $90 per hour. I would like everyone to know that Mike McPhillips has swept the village streets at least until 2006, from 2006 until current. Melissa, the administrator, has told me this. And then this past summer, we had a recycling truck that dumped glass and what have you all over the place. I called McPhillips and they were here like within 2 hours. And then after the storm, because everything was so up in the air, I didn't know how fast we were gonna get the cleanup done. I called them right away and I said, hey, this is what we have going on. And they pretty much told me, just call us when you're ready and we'll come out. So there is the dollar amount, but I also would like you guys to consider the history, and make sure that we're making the right decision, because I do also know that, I think he does a lot of private places too, just because he's here. People have gotten comfortable with that, so.
That $2 an hour over Allied Blacktop amounts to how much per year?
Yeah, do we know what our total hours are?
They usually spend 4 days, and they were working 8 to 10 hour days. I'm not good at math. 10, so that'd be
Well, if it's an $80 difference and you,
think it's.
No,
No,
Right.
no, Patrick, no need to, I don't, I agree.
okay.
yeah.
All right, I need
Go with the, they've been
tried and true.
good, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I need a recommendation from one of you.
So I would, I always forget if we move or recommend, but I'll do a move this time. That we renew the Mike McPhillips Incorporated sweeping contract, street sweeping contract at a rate of $92 per hour.
And I'll second that.
Okay, and I guess this is a spending issue. Tim?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Item number 5, five-year capital improvement plan, discussion and possible recommendation. Kevin?
All right, so you're aware, we're kind of getting at that point. Start looking at budgets. So we pulled out your 5-year capital improvement plan and kind of updated everything based on what we know. Kind of the big players is the Highway 35 project and the Wisconsin Street. You know, everybody's aware 35 is figured for 2021, and then we'd like to see the Wisconsin Street follow after that, just because of the traffic impact. And then from there, you know, we looked at, you know, this is the year that the LRIP funding is going to be coming out. That's every 2 years. We did apply for that portion on the St. Croix Street project a couple of years back, and unfortunately that wasn't approved, so we threw that in for this coming year, 2018. I know it kind of leads into the next agenda item, number 6, but for now, this is just, you know, discussion, up for discussion. So 2018, we put the St. Croix Street project in there. 2019, we looked at, you know, potentially the community would want to move forward with some more of those storm sewer catch basin repair projects. 2020, you know, that's that huge project on Lemon Street. That's, you know, if you look at the second page, that's a little over $1 million, but that one's been sitting on there. You know, we just kind of moved that around. I know that's a huge project for the community, but we threw that in for 2020. The big thing there is water main upsizing, and then, you know, this history with the sewer, the roots in that area. I know the city would like to see a big interceptor main put in. I mean, you do have a big one along Monroe Street. There's a 10-inch main that sits in there. You know, that feeds all down into the shop yards area, and what you have in Lemon Street is undersized, so they'd like to have a direct route from the water tower all the way down to the shop yards. Threw in, you know, we've had discussions on Riverside Drive with the retaining walls. That's been placed in there. And then, like we talked here before, the 6th Street and the Wisconsin Street.
Riverside doesn't, okay, it does have the retaining wall fix?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep, so that's
So that's nothing to do with the street, it's the retaining wall?
correct.
Okay.
Yep, that
And
was,
you're thinking what year?
we have it in there for 2020.
Okay.
You know, we're gonna monitor that on a yearly basis and see if it's showing any continued deterioration down in that area.
So if I'm reading this right, for the 18 budget, it would be 93.5
Yeah,
approximately?
yeah. And then we would apply for LBRIP funds. Typically, what we've seen in the past, if you do get funded, is around $20,000 that you would receive,
For which project?
for the St. Croix.
St. Croix? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the one that was denied,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure I'm
So
tracking with
the
you.
next LRIP that we can apply for would be Lemon?
2020, you said? That was?
yeah.
Okay.
So every 2 years you can apply for those. And that's typically the sunset clause is like
Yeah.
6 years once you do get awarded, when you would, you know, have to use those funds up. And you are allowed to do a one-time substitution with those. So if we did that on Lakeview Drive, we did a substitution on that part, so.
Why wouldn't we base our projects, I think, on funding based on that grant that you discussed? You know, for instance, every 2 years, why don't we put our, like Lemon Street at 1.1 potentially to get a grant? I mean,
Well, the only thing is we don't know we're gonna get it. Like
True.
what happened to us this year, and,
so I know it's more based on probably the need, but
Yeah. Yeah, and,
well, you can see the PACER ratings.
What is that?
yeah, and just so you're aware too,
Streets
the
at 8.
PACER ratings, they're due at the end of the year too.
oh,
So these will all be changing every 2 years. Actually,
And
Patrick and I were
who
on a-
determines PACER ratings? Is that the two of you?
Yeah.
Is there a like a cheat sheet you go down that the state provides. It says, check this, check that.
Guide to pacer ratings?
Yep, we were
You
just
want me to come out
ask,
and help you
Pacer
next time
ratings
you
for
go and
dummies.
check
I
it?
can give it to you. I have
No.
we were just at a
Little
training
business savvy.
Oh, you just had training? in this? Okay.
last week, so.
All right,
yeah,
good.
Yeah. so-
All right, so this one is just more of a discussion item and really leads us towards the budget
Yeah.
discussion. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do we know, I'm gonna wanna know by next meeting what we budgeted for. Did we budget for a project for this year?
Just the catch basin.
Just catch basin.
The catch basins, and
Yeah.
that's not done yet.
Done.
It's done? All of them?
Yeah.
Really?
Just the blue stuff.
I haven't seen any of it. Have you
Well, I've seen it all over, yeah.
Yep.
Did you do Fourth Street?
And did you guys mark them as well? Did you
I-
not?
Well, I did my due diligence and pulled every manhole cover and we marked them and counted them. They're all done.
There's a couple of catch basins I noticed on Fourth Street since I walked that.
No, we didn't get that far.
Okay. So we've got a plan to do more
Yep.
of that next year, and that's another
I
budget.
would like to, yes.
You did all the ones you were accounting for.
Yeah,
this
how,
year.
I forget how
It's
many
gonna
it
be
was.
65, wasn't it?
60,
50, up to
oh, 50,
50,000.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, for this year.
There were a bunch done up by us.
Okay, and
Yeah,
how,
that's, we started there and
Yeah.
we're gonna, I wanted to do.
And then how many new
section.
ones did you do? Was there new ones you were actually working on or replacing?
I have not replaced any yet.
Okay.
No. That's gonna be this fall.
Okay.
Once the lawn mowing slows down.
okay, and do we know grand total number of these?
Two.
It was two
you remember what
something.
that was?
That we're gonna, or that we have.
Yeah, that,
Catch base, it was, was that
something.
263 or
something
236?
like that, yeah.
It was a big number.
I had
yeah.
250 in my head, and I'm just thinking, so the plan is every year to take out X number of those,
Mhm.
and that way we have the preventative as well as the fix.
Yep.
Okay. But we are gonna get them all.
Yes,
Okay.
I want to.
All right, good. Any other questions, comments,
Do they give
gentlemen?
reasons why we did not get granted the amount, I mean, or denied?
Well, they went, they,
Well, there's a letter.
Yeah,
they went
Doesn't
from,
really tell us
Yeah, I know, I
why.
mean,
yeah, I included that
From
for you
8
just so
to
you have
6.
a
Yeah, I
copy
know.
of it. That's what the commissioner had sent out at that
Okay.
time. But I think you're gonna have a good chance at this next one, just because you didn't receive funds the last time.
Well, let's hope it's a Lemon Street.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's a biggie.
make it happen.
What a good,
I'm coming out with you guys.
Any other
good point for you
discussion?
guys.
Any other discussion?
Good stuff.
Any other comments? All right, let's
Okay.
move along. Number 6, LRIP funding for St. Croix Street, discussion and possible recommendation. And is that the one that's related to the letter?
Yeah,
Okay, so you guys read the letter. At their meetings held December 1st and 2nd, the MSIP committee was faced with the task of having to reduce the number of projects submitted for funding from 8 to 6. As a result of their deliberations and consideration, the St. Croix Street North project submitted by the village was not selected. I want to thank you for participating in the program by submitting a project for consideration, and while North Hudson was not successful this cycle, I'd encourage you to participate again in 2 years when we move to the next cycle. Sincerely, Tim Ramberg, Commissioner, St. Croix County Highway Department.
Who makes the final decision?
the committee,
The committee.
Yeah.
So it's not one individual.
It's not just Tim.
Combined.
no, they,
Don't call Tim, everybody. You need to talk to, is it the St. Croix Highway Department Committee, or what is it?
well, it's actually.
Or is it the county?
It's actually some of the members from the communities that actually apply for the funding. That's how it works.
They become the committee?
Yep.
That's why I asked.
Interesting, yeah.
Did we have a committee member representing us?
Not that I know of.
That's exactly why I
Let's not let
asked.
that happen again in 2 years, if you're still here.
Well, no, if you're still here, I won't be here, but I would say that,
We should be represented.
no, we need to find out who's on this committee.
Well, I would
It's
think,
typically what it is who the people that actually apply for the funding
Okay,
is the committee, and the
Okay.
committee votes on who's gonna be the chair.
Can you bring us the details about this committee and how it's formed and who's on it?
We need somebody from North Hudson
Yeah.
needs to be
Well,
on it.
yeah.
before-
You do have to have, I mean,
Sounds
yeah.
like our chair let us down on this one, I don't know.
I didn't know they had a committee. Anyway,
Yeah, they
so,
do, in November, they meet and then they, look at all the applications and then from there, they determine who's gonna get the dollars.
and it's every 2 years.
It's every 2 years.
And do you have only one representative per community, depending on?
Typically, that's the way it works, yeah.
All right, so can you get us the information?
Yeah, I
And
can.
make sure, like, we've got
Information there.
somebody here on the mailing list, like Patrick, so
Yeah.
he gets informed the committee is being formed, and we can then hear from him that we need to get a representative out there next time?
Yeah, I can get, at least on the last application, the dates, when they look at meeting and stuff.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
good. Okay, any other comments,
Do we,
gentlemen?
so one last question, do you know, so it's through St. Croix Highway Department.
Yep.
If we were to go to, I'm assuming they got a website, everybody's got a website.
It's actually,
Or is it Wisconsin,
yeah, it's kind of weird because the DOT is actually the one that gives so each county gets so many dollars. And it's all based on, I think it's population, so it all varies by counties. So the DOT divvies that money out to each county, in which, the highway department takes care of that.
Yep,
And then they actually make the selection of who actually is awarded and how many dollars.
so who in St. Croix County got it?
I'd have to look. There's
They have to show this on some place.
yeah, there's like an approval sheet or something, or award sheet.
Can
that
you send
shows-
us an email?
Yeah, I can find them.
I'd be
Get it to Patrick, and Patrick will get it to the committee.
curious if politics aren't
Search
playing.
on the LRIP.
And any info about, more info, we should be more informed.
Yeah,
Yeah. can
I
get that.
wish I would have known that that committee was there and they were the ones choosing, because I would have made sure somebody was there. It's
I
okay.
know, yeah. I
We're
think
learning.
I think Daryl's been to one before, if I remember right, Stanford.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So
Okay. Any other discussion on this?
That's good.
All right. So, item number 7, salt shed for public works garage, discussion only. So, another budget item, but we would like to get this done this year. Well, if you could get it done this year, would you get it done this year?
Well, of course, I would do that. But I guess as it stands now, we've already stored the salt for the majority of the summer. There wasn't a whole lot left over. So if we didn't get to it until in the spring, it probably wouldn't hurt anything.
I'm not following that. Are you saying they're already storing what we need for this winter?
No, they're storing what was left from last.
So we're paying them for storing it? So it still would seem to me the sooner we get it out of there, the less we're paying them to store it.
Yeah, you're correct on that.
So I'm gonna need an ROI.
I'm just,
I need you to show me,
yeah.
that is, I thought we were gonna get one of those, or did I miss it?
I think we'll have to just understand the dimensions and the size and everything. It looks like a lot of it's on here. I mean,
yeah, just some of that stuff that I supplied, I guess, per se, because, some of our other communities have looked into
right,
this.
we wanted it based on the other communities, I think, yep.
Yeah, so it was just more informational for the committee members on, like Somerset, they have a 24 by 30-foot salt shed that's 10-foot sidewalls. And when that was bid out back in 2011, the low bid was right around $40,000. And that did not include like any site improvements.
Okay.
You're gonna have to put some base down,
Yep.
and then you're gonna have to pave that DNR law, wants you to
So
pay
that
those.
39.6 is just the structure?
Just the
And
structure.
it hasn't really, if you look at it here, it's 40 grand for just the structure, so it's not like
Yeah.
in, 5, 6 years, the price has gone
No,
through the roof.
and this was, previous public works director was looking at, a salt shed at one time, and back in 2012, we put a cost estimate together for it. And at that time, it was around 60,000. That
Every-
includes everything.
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 Where on our little picture here were you planning on putting it?
Let's talk through
So
that.
that's all up to
Yep.
discussion.
Well, have you got any thoughts?
I do have thoughts. I guess the worrisome thing to me is the money. Right now, the guidance that some of the guidance that I've been given is that, to put this up, we'd have to take out another loan,
Okay,
and we can't, because
We'll get beyond the, Don't-
we're
the-
already,
I-
the
all
debt
right.
ratio goes to that point.
yeah,
where
but
our
if we're,
rating will go down.
yeah, but if, I need to see a return on investment.
okay.
You show me that we're gonna spend 60,000 to put this thing up, and right now, for storage somewhere else, we're spending this much per year, and tell me how many years it's gonna take to pay that shed off?
I know last year it was just over $11,000
11,000 what? What?
for storage.
Okay, 11,000 a year?
Storage,
Well, it
yeah.
won't take very many years to pay off this shed.
Right.
I think we need to be able to make a case to the village, to the finance committee and the village board, that, we're throwing money to somebody else
Store our salt.
to store our salt.
That we paid
And the hassles that go,
Irony of
go
it.
with it.
We get charged when they load us, too.
They charge us when they load us too.
I
So,
love
I
Hudson.
want total costs that we spent on salt last year. And actually ask her to go back the last couple of years
Yeah,
and give us.
history is huge.
Yeah, give us a running average the last 5 years.
Yep.
What we're spending on salt. And
Okay.
all of it, the loading, the storage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the cost of the salt itself is gonna be the same to them as it is to us, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So,
to answer your question, I was thinking about putting the salt shed on this side,
Okay.
in this area, right beside the cold storage shed, which the one is on it. So I would like to in this area somewhere.
okay, so next time, is this from our
Kevin.
engineer, Kevin?
I just provided.
Next time, put a dotted line in there where you think it might be going.
Yeah, we just,
I'll dot something out.
yeah, we can put something
Get
on there.
a crayon or something, I'll get it done.
All right, so I need to hear from Melissa what her objections might be to
Okay.
doing it sooner rather than later, after you show her the ROI.
Okay.
Okay? I hate throwing money away, but if we have limits, we have limits.
Agree.
And I
but-
think that's kind of where we're at, so. it's-
Okay? I just want to see it in writing.
Okay.
Okay.
Squad car would probably cover it.
Any other discussion on the salt shed? Tim, Ted,
No.
gentlemen, any more to add? All right. Item number 8, 2018 Public Works Budget Discussion Only. I don't think we have anything on that, do
No,
we?
I don't.
No, you don't have anything on it. I just kind of wanted to get the ball rolling. I wanted to get some, because I'm brand new to this, obviously. So I wanted to get some insight and whatnot on certain things. I was kind of, I went through I haven't gotten all the way through, but I went through part of the main things that we spend money on. And it was also kind of informational for you committee members. Like I said, I just started on it, so I would like to, the direction I'd like to go is more money put into buying hot mix and gravel and whatnot so that we can
Okay.
patch our own streets.
Let me
and
just stop you.
stuff.
On the details, we're gonna have a budget meeting,
Okay,
and we're gonna discuss the details.
okay,
Public Works will.
Okay.
But we need to see a budget laid out, what we spent last year versus what you want to spend this year. And then notes on what changes you want to make on the same sheet, so we can just go look at the notes and look at the note,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
That way it'll be simple for all of us to see what you want to change in a heartbeat.
All right.
And we need to know what our total budget is, and,
Okay. All right, that's what
I mean, with
guess.
that truck and stuff on there, I don't know. I just want to know what our total budget looks like year to year, year over year. How do we do 2017 compared to 2016, and then projected 2018? And why the changes, you just put little stars and say, here's what, and then put a
Okay.
note at the bottom, here's what the changes are.
Okay,
That makes
all right,
sense.
all right. Then that gives me some guidance.
Okay?
Okay.
Oh, it's always a fun time, budget time. When is our budget due? Do we know?
I wasn't even told, I was just told to start working on it.
You know, Melissa gave us a
I
sheet.
did have a date.
It's in,
November, isn't it?
yeah, I
Okay,
think you're
make sure
right.
you get that exact date.
November, okay.
And then know that we have to have it done by then, and then work back per meeting what we have to have accomplished per meeting
Okay.
on the budget, okay? All right. Item number 9, chair update. I just want to remind everybody that Pepperfest is this weekend. Starts, Tim?
Friday night, 5 o'clock.
Friday night, 5 o'clock, and we're looking out the windows, and the tents are starting to go up.
It's Pepperfish.
And I would encourage you all to come and join, and it's a fun time. All right, item 10, engineers report.
I just wanted to give you an update on the Artisan North subdivision.
Ah,
As you're probably aware, they haven't started down there. They're waiting for their permits yet.
They have not started. That would explain why I drove by yesterday and I was like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Literally yesterday.
are they, so they're behind schedule?
Yeah.
They preferred to,
Yeah, I mean, they have one of their permits in place, they're waiting for 2 other
what
ones.
permits are they waiting on?
So they have their sanitary sewer extension permit, which
Okay.
is from the DNR. They're waiting for their water main extension permit,
From?
Wisconsin DNR. And then they have a grading permit from the DNR that they have to have in place.
Because of the,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That, this does not
All
surprise
DNR.
me at
And
all.
it's all Wisconsin DNR?
Correct.
Same person handling each of the permits? Or
2
is it
different departments.
different departments in the DNR?
Yes, yeah. So once they do have those in place, I'm sure they're gonna be out there.
Okay, and they'll move fast?
Yeah, I don't have, yeah, it won't take that long. It's not a huge project. Yeah.
You think, so let me ask you it another way. Do you think, once those permits are in place, they'll still get it done before winter? I mean,
Yeah, we'll get it up to, at
Okay.
a minimum, it'd be gravel.
okay,
At a minimum,
okay.
but,
Not necessarily paved yet. Will that cause you any trouble?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
yeah.
And he's got all the lots sold, I think?
He had, I don't know if he had them all, but yeah, he
He
had some of them, yeah, spoken for already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
That's good.
cool.
yeah, just FYI.
Anything else for engineer report?
The other thing is I did, I talked, we had the village board meeting or this month, beginning of the month, so I called the DNR, or DOT, about the cost sharing items. Told them, what the decision was, that you guys just want to proceed with the landscaping and the sidewalk part of it. So, they're gonna be moving forward with getting it's called a SMA, State
Okay.
Municipal Agreement. So that'll outline, all the things of what's expected from the village and what's expected out of them. So that should be coming here fairly shortly. And then they're gonna start turning around and start doing the design work.
And that's when we actually start seeing bills?
I would think you wouldn't see any bills till probably next year.
Okay.
But,
Please make sure you find out and give Melissa as much heads up on any potential bills coming in as you can.
yeah, I can find out.
Because you know how things go with year-end budget. If there's dollars left here or dollars left there that we want to use for some other project, she needs to know that she might get hit with that,
Yeah.
okay?
One of the other thing he said that, since they're gonna start moving forward with their part of it, the village should start looking at starting to move forward with sewer and water portion of it.
What's
So-
that mean?
So basically, you would start getting out there and start doing all the field work, start locating all that stuff.
This is your job?
Well, I mean, with the budgets coming up here, I would think we would want to start discussing that.
So do we hire contractors, or is this stuff you do?
That would be something that we would do.
Well,
We
we're
would-
already paying you. So this is free, right?
Well, this is, yeah, quite a bit.
This is gonna be a
beyond that.
project from your
Yeah.
point of view?
It'd be a project,
So you'll get us costs on what it takes to do the field work,
yeah.
and you'll give us timing,
Yep,
and you'll be definitive in what's involved in the field work.
yeah, we'd have like a scope
Doesn't
of
it have to be
service.
bid out? Wouldn't that have to be bid out?
No,
No?
not engineering services, they don't, no,
Oh, okay, because there's no shovels in the ground.
no.
Yep,
There's no, like, public bidding or anything,
Yep.
just like your village attorney.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I'd like to stay ahead of the game.
Yeah, since they're starting to move forward, we would want to start getting our ducks in a
Good.
row too. So, but yeah, we can start putting like a scope of services proposal together, so we can start looking at that. Just a couple other things. Plan Commission is going to be looking at some conditional use permit for some additional mini storage units down on the Shop Yards project down in there.
What?
They're starting to move forward with adding additional units down in that area. so
They
that-
are.
Yeah,
Does that have to do with what has been going on the backside?
That's the last part of the reclamation,
Oh,
soil sampling.
Is this-
What are
is
they
it-
getting out of there?
Hmm?
What are they reclaiming?
contaminated soils that are down in that
Just
area.
Type of contaminated soil.
There's
lead,
some
could be
hot
arsen- I mean, it could
spots
be-
down there.
They have
It
some
actually
hot
is,
spots.
a lot of it is actually staying on site. Where the,
But do we know what the chemical is they're removing?
oh yeah, there's
What
been,
is it?
there's a ton of testing that's going on down there. There's-
So what do they got? I mean,
The DNR's all over it. They're
yeah,
making sure it's
they're-
done
I mean, I don't know all the
correctly.
bits and pieces, but the soil is actually staying on site. They're just putting an impervious layer up on top, which is gravel or asphalt. Basically, where that building burnt down, they tore the concrete slab out, and that's where a lot of the material is being buried out on site. So you just
Oh.
gotta have an impervious area over the top.
All that expense is covered by the owner there?
Yep, they're funding all of it, which is, I understand, a little over $1 million, so it's a pretty big cost that they're taking on.
And they're looking at adding storage sheds in that area, or were they just in kind of our,
It would be on the western side, just kind of an extension to the north where the existing units are at. I think there's about 120 units that they were looking at.
Adding?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Really?
along that back road then, probably?
yeah. So the Plan Commission is gonna be looking at that next.
So they're not
Wednesday
gonna
night.
build me a grocery store down there, huh?
no, it's going in the corner there.
I still want a
I thought
grocery
you were
store.
building that.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, we met with Quick Trip last week,
Yep.
so there's a potential that the community will be getting a new store,
Mm-hmm.
maybe as early as next year, so.
Run that by me again?
New, we met with Quick Trip last week, some representatives, Melissa and myself. And, if everything plays out, they'll be under construction next year.
Where at?
It would be
Across from, in
on North End Road, just on the north side there.
North End.
Yeah, just south of the Italian restaurant
yeah,
place.
in
Oh, south
between
of?
Yeah,
Freedom,
Oh, okay.
just right by Gub's.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, okay.
Yeah, they're looking at purchasing 2 lots there, so.
Oh.
So Quick Trip is
More to the
gas
tax
and
base, I
a
like it.
convenience store?
Yeah, they have groceries and,
You can have your grocery store.
That's not a grocery store.
Maybe beer will start coming down. Wait a minute, did that come out?
Competition?
All right, anything else, sir?
nope, that's it.
So I have one question dating back to, remember I had this telecommunication guy come in?
Yeah, what happened
And I
with
asked
him?
him if he could move it up the road like that.
Yeah.
He never came back. So he was
I
pretty
haven't
much
heard
full
it.
of crap, wasn't
Well,
he?
no, because there was a
I-
company that bought a company, and that stopped everything, because then the merged companies had to go back and look at the plan. And we were waiting for the merged company to
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah, so
So we haven't heard back.
I haven't heard nothing.
Can you check it out?
Probably did.
Do you know who they are?
I'd have,
Because he came in here
I'd
and he
have
was
to
like,
go
"We
back
can
and
do it,
look."
we can
Melissa should have the information from Gloria, because I think they went to Gloria.
I bet I have the email.
I think I have some of the information too, because I saved everything he brought us. and-
Yeah, I'd really like to
I
find
wrote
out
down, Yeah.
what happened.
yeah,
I still think, I just don't want that one to sneak up on us and be forced to stick in a pole up that's, where they would
Right.
think, I don't mind personally having a telecommunications tower.
yeah.
I'd rather it was on our land.
Right, not in the
Then
middle of the
WisDOT.
thoroughfare where we could charge them
Right.
some,
Right,
get some revenue from it.
We asked him to go try to potentially find other locations to
Right.
put it besides
Yeah.
right in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
like right up next to Ted's house would be great. That's a high point.
Listen, I can already see the water tower and the birds that circle that one.
All right. All right. Item number 11, Director's Report. Patrick.
Obviously, the Flex Seal project is done. We've been working on paint and hydrants. And we sold the International plow truck. Got more than we expected for it,
What'd we get?
$11,200. So
Very good.
that worked out well, and that I have to give credit to Melissa. She's the one that
No, you were asking
urged
75,
urged
weren't
me
you,
to
Patrick?
85.
85, okay. So that was
She urged me to try this auction out, so that's
outstanding.
What about,
Outstanding. Thank you, Melissa.
have we closed on the Pine Street acquisition?
Can I say that?
That's outside of here.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Is it done?
I don't know if it's done yet.
It's gonna be getting
Were
close.
you at the last board meeting?
I was on vacation.
Go read the notes. I'm pretty sure we discussed it, didn't we?
No, we didn't, but
Read the notes.
I was there and I didn't, but it, yeah. We finalized
Back
it the
read the
meeting
notes.
before that, I think, though.
Right.
We have on a
Yeah,
board
but
meeting finalized.
As
it.
of when
We-
Gloria left, it was not completed.
Ah.
Because I talked to her.
Okay, right.
Okay. Anyway, so your plans for that money from the truck?
Or to purchase a riding lawnmower.
Okay.
Pay down the storage shed.
Well, with the leftover, I don't know. But it went into a fund,
Mm-hmm, yeah.
and I am urging him by next meeting to show us, because he's done it before.
Yeah.
Early on, he started showing us what he wanted, to figure out what he wants for a lawn tractor. That will save time
Yep.
and have some years to it. No cheapy that you're fixing all the time. And you got some striping done out there too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we're almost done. We'll probably do, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I'm guessing Thursday we'll finish we have 3 crosswalks left. so.
All right, crosswalks left. Okay. Anything else?
I was just gonna mention that I did have to pull one of the pumps at the Cratley lift station. There, for whatever reason, we were having issues with it, and so I pulled one. It could be one of 3 things. It could be bad wire, it could be water getting into the motor, and I can't remember what the other thing he
Where's
said
that
was.
located at?
So,
Where's that?
Cratley lift station?
Yeah.
It's just east of you. A quarter of a mile,
North side or south
Yeah, it's
side?
on the north side.
North side?
north side of Cratley, yeah.
Okay, and?
So I just wanted to get that information out there that I am having to repair.
Who's doing the repair?
I called, Braun. I think
Braun
that's what
Pump.
it's called, Braun Pump and Repair.
Where are they from?
They're out of Burnsville.
Yeah,
Burnsville?
cities. Yeah.
Us closer in St. Cloud.
But they do all, they do Roberts, New Richmond, Somerset, Woodville.
Yeah.
They do a lot of, this is their route.
And the price comparable to what we were paying before without the long distance charge?
It's under,
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Alright, good. good.
but I just wanted to, so nobody was blindsided by anything. We are
I'll have a look at it tonight.
doing some repairs. If you want a key, you can go ahead and,
Yeah.
I don't get a key.
okay.
I don't need a key.
All right, anything else?
No, that's it.
Any future, item number 12, future agenda items? Anything you guys want to put on future?
No.
We kind of threw a few things at
Yep.
Patrick already, let's get the lawnmower. And we got budget coming, which is obviously going to continue. The salt shed is a future. This 5-year capital improvement plan, Kevin,
Yeah.
is this something that needs to be run through the finance committee?
It's totally
Should-
up,
Huh?
it's totally up to what you guys want. I
Shouldn't
didn't,
this be run through the finance
Should be
committee?
informative, at least bring it up. I
Did
mean,
we do a vote on that?
no, I don't think we need a vote, do we?
I don't,
I think we should just
can if you want, but.
It's not spending, you don't need a vote.
try and get it on the next finance committee.
I put it in the
Yeah,
finance.
let's-
Just public, put it under public works section of the finance committee discussion,
Okay,
just as a discussion. We're not really making a recommendation. We just want them to know that we're planning.
yeah,
Yeah.
they can actually see it, yeah,
Right.
Yes.
makes sense.
Good stuff.
It is good stuff. I am really pleased to have a plan. I really am. I like it. Because it feels like that way Melissa won't get blindsided by,
Yeah.
she'll know every year, and with the bonds and stuff, she'll be able to,
Yeah.
and the loans, she'll be able to say, here's when, here's when. I like being able to plan. All right. If there is nothing else, item number 13, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.